Fear, mystery, and chaos, words that barely capture the terror the Zodiac Killer unleashed in the 1960s. He didn't just kill, he taunted, manipulated, and disappeared into the shadows, leaving the world with questions that remain unanswered to this day. And what makes this even more haunting? His story is not the only one. Stay with us because by the end of this video we'll connect the dots to an equally chilling case from India, the Stoneman Murders. It all began on December 20th, 1968 near Vallejo, California. A young couple, Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday, parked on a quiet lover's lane, never made it back home. They were brutally shot in cold blood, a seemingly random crime that would later mark the beginning of a terror spree. Over the next year, more lives were claimed. The Zodiac's method was chillingly precise: remote locations, surprise attacks, and no traces left behind except cryptic letters sent to newspapers. This is the Zodiac speaking. These chilling words were the beginning of a game, a twisted dance with law enforcement and the media. He demanded his letters be published or more lives would be lost. And in his letters, symbols, codes, and puzzles that have stumped the brightest minds for decades. The Zodiac wasn't just a killer, he was a performer. He craved attention. His letters described the murders in detail, taunted the police for their incompetence, and signed off with a strange symbol, a crosshair, almost as if he saw himself as a hunter. But think about the people left behind. The families of his victims. The parents who buried their children. The friends who could never make sense of why their loved ones were chosen. For them, it wasn't a game. It was a nightmare that never ended. Gap 3S. Let's take a closer look at the victims of the Zodiac Killer. Each life lost was a tragedy, and their stories deserve to be told. Gap 2S. Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday were just teenagers, high school sweethearts with dreams and futures ahead of them. On the 20th of December, 1968, their lives were cut short in a brutal attack that left a community in shock and fear. Betty Lou was a vibrant young woman, full of life and ambition, while David was known for his kind heart and determination. Gap 2S. Fast forward to the 4th of July, 1969, and we meet Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau. Darlene was a mother, a wife, and a beloved friend to many. She had an infectious laugh and a zest for life. Michael, her companion that night, survived the attack but was left with scars, both physical and emotional, that would last a lifetime. Gap 2S. These victims were more than just names in a case file. They were people with families, friends, and dreams. Their lives were stolen, and their stories deserve to be remembered, not just for the horror they endured, but for the people they were before their paths crossed with the Zodiac. Gap 2S. As we delve deeper into the Zodiac's reign of terror, let us not forget these individuals. They were not just statistics in a macabre game, they were human beings whose lives were unjustly taken. Gap 3S. The investigation into the Zodiac Killer was one of the most extensive in history. We will delve into the efforts of law enforcement, the challenges they faced, and the breakthroughs they achieved. From the initial crime scenes to the cryptic letters, every clue was a piece of a larger puzzle. Gap 2S. The first responding officers at each crime scene were often met with a chilling silence, broken only by the distant echoes of the killer's violence. They meticulously gathered evidence, interviewed witnesses, and pieced together timelines, but the Zodiac always seemed one step ahead. Gap 2S. Detectives like Dave Tusky and Bill Armstrong dedicated years to the case, sifting through mountains of tips, false leads, and dead ends. Their determination was unwavering, even as the Zodiac taunted them with letters and ciphers that only deepened the mystery. Gap 2S. One of the most significant breakthroughs came with the deciphering of the Zodiac's first cipher, which revealed his twisted love for killing. This breakthrough, however, only scratched the surface of a mind shrouded in darkness. Gap 2S. Despite the technological limitations of the time, forensic experts worked tirelessly, analyzing handwriting, fingerprints, and even the paper the letters were written on. Each clue brought a glimmer of hope, but the Zodiac's identity remained elusive. Gap 2S. The relentless pursuit of justice by law enforcement was marked by frustration and heartbreak, but it also showcased their unwavering commitment to solving one of the most perplexing cases in criminal history. Gap 2S. As we continue our journey into the Zodiac's reign of terror, we must remember the tireless efforts of those who sought to bring him to justice, even when the odds seemed insurmountable. Gap 3S. The media played a significant role in the Zodiac Killer case. From the moment the first cryptic letter arrived at the San Francisco Chronicle, the public's fascination with the Zodiac grew exponentially. The killer's letters to newspapers were not just a taunt to law enforcement, but a calculated move to capture the public's attention. Gap 2S. Each letter, each cipher, was a headline, feeding the frenzy and turning the Zodiac into a household name. The media's coverage was relentless, often sensationalizing the terror and creating an atmosphere of fear. This constant exposure influenced the investigation as tips from the public poured in, many of which led to dead ends. However, it also kept the case in the public eye, ensuring that the Zodiac's crimes would not be forgotten. Gap 2S. The media's role extended beyond mere reporting. Some newspapers like the Chronicle became direct recipients of the Zodiac's correspondence, making journalists part of the story. The public's reaction was a mix of fear, curiosity, and in some cases, a morbid fascination. The Zodiac knew this and exploited it, using the media as his stage to instill terror and maintain his infamy. Gap 2S. As we delve deeper into the Zodiac's reign of terror, it is crucial to understand how the media's influence shaped the investigation and the public's perception. The interplay between the killer, the media, and the public created a complex narrative that continues to captivate and mystify us to this day. Gap 3S. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror had a profound impact on society. From the fear that gripped communities to changes in law enforcement, the case left a lasting legacy. The Zodiac's ability to elude capture instilled a sense of vulnerability and fear. Communities once considered safe were now shrouded in suspicion and unease. Gap 2S. This pervasive fear led to significant changes in personal safety practices. The Zodiac's actions served as a grim reminder that danger could lurk anywhere. Law enforcement agencies were also profoundly impacted. The case highlighted the need for better coordination and communication. This led to more sophisticated investigative techniques and databases. The case also brought about changes in forensic science. The need to analyze cryptic messages pushed the boundaries of code breaking. The advancements made during the Zodiac investigation have since been applied to other cases. Gap 2S. Beyond law enforcement, the Zodiac Killer's legacy extends to popular culture. Books, films, and documentaries continue to explore the case. The Zodiac's impact on society serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of safety. Gap 3S. As we delve deeper into the unsolved mysteries of this case, it is essential to understand the broader implications. The changes in societal behavior, law enforcement practices, and forensic science are all part of the legacy left behind by one of the most enigmatic and elusive killers in history. Gap 3S. Over the years, many theories and speculations have emerged about the Zodiac Killer. From potential suspects to possible motives, we will explore the various theories that have been proposed. One prominent theory centers around Arthur Lee Allen, a convicted child molester and prime suspect. Allen's behavior and materials related to the Zodiac's letters made him a suspect, yet no definitive evidence linked him to the crimes. Some believe the Zodiac had a partner, explaining varying witness descriptions. Advancements in forensic genealogy offer hope, but for every lead, there are countless dead ends. Theories range from plausible to outlandish, adding layers to the Zodiac Killer enigma. The allure of solving this criminal puzzle captivates investigators and the public alike. The Zodiac's codes and ciphers remain a testament to his cunning and the challenges ahead. Gap 3S. The Zodiac Killer has become a cultural icon, inspiring books, movies, and even music. From Robert Graysmith's book Zodiac to David Fincher's film, the Zodiac Killer fascinates and horrifies. His cryptic messages and taunting letters inspire fiction, music, and documentaries. The Zodiac's codes remain a testament to his cunning. Why does he captivate us? Gap 2S. The thrill of the chase, the hope of new clues, or sheer terror, perhaps all of these combined. Perhaps the most enduring mystery of the Zodiac case lies in his ciphers. In total, he sent 4 coded messages, one of them, known as the 408 cipher, was cracked by amateur codebreakers within weeks. It revealed a chilling message: "I like killing people because it is so much fun." But others, like the infamous 340 cipher, remained unsolved for decades, until 2020, when a team finally deciphered it. Yet even this breakthrough failed to reveal his identity. To this day, his true name is as mysterious as his motives. Imagine dedicating your life to solving a puzzle, only to find it's a dead end. For the cryptologists, this wasn't just a challenge, it was an obsession. Over the years, many suspects have been named. Some claim it was Arthur Lee Allen, a man with a criminal record who seemed to match the Zodiac's profile. Others point to Richard Gaikowski, a journalist with a dark side, but no evidence has ever been strong enough to convict anyone. Was the Zodiac a lone wolf, or did he have accomplices? Did he stop killing, or did he simply change his identity? Every theory opens new doors, but none provide the closure we desperately seek. But what if I told you that the Zodiac story is not unique? Across the world, in the bustling city of Kolkata, another killer prowled the streets, a shadowy figure who struck fear into the hearts of many. While the Zodiac left puzzles, this killer left only silence. Stay tuned as in our next video we uncover the terrifying tale of India's Stoneman. What do you think about the Zodiac Killer? Was he a criminal mastermind or just a disturbed individual seeking attention? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Detective Inventory for more gripping mysteries.